Between Two Thrones, Book 1, Before the Ground Was Cursed. Chapter 1, The Song Before the Silence. We were younger than light when we first learned to laugh. There was no up or down yet, no east or west, only the crystalline sea beneath the throne and the unbearable brightness above it. Sound had not yet been given edges. Every note we sang hung in the air like living fire and never faded. That was the age when Samyaza and I still stood wing to wing without effort, without question, without the ache that would later settle between us like a blade no one could see. I am Zeruel. He was Samyaza. On the morning that everything changed, if morning is even the right word when mornings had not yet been invented, the two of us were weaving a harmony neither of us had tried before. It was playful, almost reckless, a descending seventh followed by a leap so wide it made the seraphim laugh in six-part counterpoint. Samyaza's voice was always the brighter of the two. Mine carried the deeper resonance. Together, we sounded like sunrise fields. Then the music stopped, not faded, stopped, as though every throat in the host had been suddenly, gently closed by an unseen hand. We looked toward the throne. The radiance there was not brighter than usual. It was different. It had weight. It had intention. Even we who had never known fear felt something coil inside us that would one day be named awe. God spoke, not with sound, not at first, but with meaning that clothed itself in sound so we could bear it.
Behold, I am about to do something new.
Samyaza's wing brushed mine, a reflex older than galaxies.
New?
He sent, mind to mind.
Everything that can be has already been thought by him. What is left?
I had no answer. None of us did. Then the second declaration came, and it struck us like a blade of light straight through the heart.
I will make a creature of dust and breath, lower than the sons of fire, finite, fragile, able to break, and I will set before it the terrifying gift of choice.
A ripple moved through the host. 10,000 times 10,000 wings stirred at once. We had never heard the word choice applied to anything except ourselves, and even then, our choosing had always been a glad yes before the question was fully formed. Samyaza's next thought reached me alone, private, trembling.
Why give them the capacity to say no, if saying no will wound them?
I turned to look at him. His face, if face is the right word for what we wore then, was exactly as I had always known it, fierce and gentle in the same instant, eyes like dawn over still water. But something new flickered there. Not rebellion, not yet. Only sorrow before sorrow had been invented. I answered the only way I knew how, because love that cannot be refused is not love. He tilted his head the way he did when he was about to ask the question that would unravel everything.
Is it love if the refusal costs them everything?
Before I could answer, the throne blazed again.
They shall be made in our image, after our likeness.
The words were not loud, yet every created being felt them carved into the marrow of whatever counted for marrow in us. Image, likeness. Words we had sung about the eternal sun from eternity past were now to be shared with creatures of clay. Samyaza's wings flared wide without his meaning them to.
These creatures of clay will bear his image, the same image borne by the Word who always was?
I felt the same astonishment, but I also felt the weight behind the words, an ocean of purpose I could sense but not yet name. Then came the part that broke the first silence forever.
And they shall have dominion.
Dominion. Over the works of his hands, over beasts, over skies, over every creeping thing. The host who had been given charge of stars and galaxies looked at one another in something too humble to be called offense and too staggering to be called joy. Samyaza laughed once, not mockery, but disbelief so pure it sounded like grief.
Little bags of water and dust set over us.
Not over us, I said quickly. Under him, as we are. He turned fully toward me then, and for the first time since the music began, I saw the faintest shadow cross his eyes.
Zeruel,
He said aloud, using the voice he rarely bothered with among our kind.
tell me truly, do you understand why he must test them? Why not simply make them like us, beings who see him so clearly that saying no would be madness?
I wish I could say my answer came swift and sure. It did not. I stood in the blaze of the throne and felt suddenly small. I do not understand yet, I admitted, but I have never doubted that when the understanding comes, it will be beautiful. Samyaza looked at me for a long moment. Then he did something he had never done before. He reached out and laid his hand, not his wing, his hand, against my chest, right where a heart would one day beat in creatures of flesh.
I hope you're right, brother. I hope the beauty is worth the breaking.
Far above us, unseen by any but the sun himself, the Lamb stood slain from before the foundation of the world. Neither of us knew that yet. We only knew the music had stopped, and something new, something fragile and fierce and free, was about to begin. And between us, for the first time, there was silence.